I want to tell you something. I have a story that I like to share with everybody. Now, listen, the story is not funny. The strangest things happen to me. Okay, so
it's not about cats, right?
it's not about cats, and it's not native. It's not native tales this time.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what it was. So was interesting. In 2016, when I started my business, I became a franchise owner for Sears Maid Services. And just a little context, really, really quick. Sears, the retailer, is going down the tubes. We know that. The home service side is what I bought into, which is still in existence. So we do that to this day. And as anybody knows, when you start a business, you have a problem with capital. It was the first time in my life I was responsible for making payroll. So I was trying to figure out what could I do when I start this business that will give me time to make money somewhere else and still be able to run my business. So I came up with an idea. Back then Uber had these signs that was saying like, we guarantee you $5,000 a month if you drive for us and all stuff like that. So I said, perfect. You can work when you want. I said, I'll drive for Uber. So I said, I'll do my maid stuff during the day, run the business, and then I'll drive for Uber to help me pay my staff. Okay. Herein lies the problem. So one day I'm working for Uber now. And this is the first time I publicly admitted that I drove for Uber. I want to say that was a big step for me. I used to try to keep it on the low. So I'm like, I'm not gonna have a master's degree driving for Uber. I don't want none of my friends to see me. Right? But you got to do what you got to do for your business. So one day I'm in Long Beach, and I don't want people to think that I only drove Uber in areas that were not native populated. I don't want people to think that, because that would be wrong.
Hey,
so anyway,
I only deliver pizza in other neighborhoods. I'm keeping it real.
Well, I'm in Long Beach, right? And I figure Long Beach would be great. You got the beach there in the summertime, a lot of tourists. So anyway, I get a call, and I got to go pick up. The person's name is Larry. So I'm going to pick up Larry, right, in Long Beach one night. And the only way to make money really was you had to get like a Long Island to Manhattan trip, right? But this is perfect. Person is going to Manhattan. So I get there, you have no idea who's about to get into the vehicle, okay? So that's the kind of weird thing about this, because you don't know. You just have a perfect stranger getting into your car. So I'm waiting one day, and this Larry pops up on the screen, pick him up in Long Beach. When I pull up, this guy brings the woman to the vehicle. He puts her in the back seat, and the man takes off like Carl Lewis. I've never seen a person try to get out of there that fast. So now he leaves. So he's not riding. He puts this woman in the car. The woman is crying. White female, probably in her mid to late 40s. And she's crying, right? So the first thing I say, obviously, is, hey, is everything okay? Because the woman is crying. And she's like, yeah, I was just watching the Olympics. So I'm like, wow, she must really be patriotic. You know what I mean? And so she's crying. So she says, I'm tired of Michael Phelps dating all these transsexuals. This is where the conversation starts. She says, I'm tired of Michael Phelps dating all these transsexuals. Now, this is the Summer Olympics. Michael Phelps is like the most decorated Olympian. I have no idea what she's talking about. He just had a baby with him and his wife or something like that. So I try to be as indifferent as possible. I said, oh, I hadn't heard that. That's the best thing I could come up with, right? So she's upset. So she says, I want to go to a drive-thru. Where's there a drive-thru? I said, oh, there's a McDonald's on Long Beach Road. And she's like, I don't want to go to McDonald's. I want to go to Wendy's. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So I happen to know there's a Wendy's right there in Lynbrook. I'll just swing the Wendy's, then we'll head to Manhattan. This is where I know I'm in trouble. When I pull up to Wendy's and a woman says, what are we doing here? And I said, well, you did say you want to go to Wendy's. I don't know why you came here. So I realized something. When it comes to crazy, you can't negotiate with crazy. You just go with it. I said, you know what, miss, you're right. I don't know why I came to Wendy's myself. Let's just go to Manhattan. So we get on the LIE. We go to Manhattan. Now, all of us have to deal with crazy people in life, just not sitting behind us for an hour. So while we're on the LIE, she says, where are we at? I said, we're on the LIE. 5 seconds later, where are we at now? I said, ironically, we're actually still on the LIE, just a little further west, right? So now that I've deemed that this woman is not in her right mind, I want to make sure that I can see her. So I'm going to try to give the impression that I'm checking my right mirror when I just want to keep her in my peripheral view. Apparently, she notices this and she says, "Don't worry, I'm not going to kill you."
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
That's when the music in your mind starts playing, right? She said, "I'm not going to kill you." And I'm sitting there thinking, like, when did killing become part of this narrative? I thought this was like Wendy's versus McDonald's. I didn't know killing was on the table. So I instinctively say, "I know you're not going to kill me." To which she says, "And how do you know that?" And then I thought about it. I've never actually been killed before, so I don't really know killing protocol. How it works.
This is your first time being possibly killed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything to substantiate that I'm not actually going to be killed. So I thought it was a very good question on her part. So I try to de-escalate the situation. We wind up getting into Manhattan, and then I'm supposed to drop her by Pearl Street. When I get to Pearl Street, I'm right there, like in front of a CVS or something. I pull over. I said, "Well, thank you. Have a good night." She said, "I'm not getting out here."
Oh yes, you are.
I said, "But this is what Larry put in as the destination. Do I look like Larry?" And I said, well, miss, this is as far as I can go because this is as far as you all have paid. I'm not getting out. I don't feel safe here. So I said, "Well, it's Lower Manhattan. It's Saturday night. It's 10:30. There's plenty of couples walking by, So she's like, you don't feel safe." So I'm like, "Well, miss, you're going to have to get out the vehicle." I'm not getting out the vehicle. So now it dawns on me, I've got to call a police officer, right? So I get out of the vehicle. She locks the doors of the vehicle. I have the clicker in my hand, so I walk away. I walk to the side where she's at, and I open her door. As soon as I open her door, she said, "Don't touch me. Don't touch me." I said, "Miss, now you have the black man standing with the door open with a white woman screaming, 'Don't touch me,' outside of a white car. Bad optic all the way around, right?" So she says to me, I said, "Miss, I'm going to have to call the police, and I'm not going to touch you." And I pull out my phone, and I start recording. I said, "I'm recording this for your safety and mine," right? Then I noticed her clothing is disheveled. So I'm saying, did this guy do something to her? And so I said, "Miss, if there's a problem, let me know. I'm going to try to call the cops." I can't find a cop to save my life. Nothing but yellow cabs going by, not one cop. And so finally an ambulance goes by. And the woman is like, there they are. Go call your captain. Go call your homeboys. Now, first of all, I hadn't heard homeboys since the 90s. So I don't know what the woman is talking about. And she says, go call your captain with the white suit. And I'm like, what is she talking about with the white suit? Then I realized maybe like with one flew over the cuckoo's nest, maybe the woman had been, locked up, institutionalized, and she used to the nurses coming to something. I don't know what she's talking about. And so now I'm sitting there filming her, and she says, "I got a pocketbook full of hashtags." First of all, I want to tell you all, I'm not making any of this up. This all happened. The woman said, "I have a pocketbook filled with hashtags." The inanimate object hashtag that you would use on a computer, she was not lying. She opened her pocketbook. She had about 20 hashtags in there that was made out of carbon paper, like children made them in school, right? And I said, "Miss, look, please get out. I have other people that I have to pick up." She said, "Well, they're just gonna have to wait." And I said, "Miss, listen, listen, I'm only doing this because I care. You don't care. You just care about yourself. I've raised 3 children by myself. You only care about yourself." And I'm sitting there like, are we in a relationship or something? Because I don't know what this has to do with me, right? And so the woman's going off, and she said, "You don't care about me." The woman said, "You selfish C word." I said, what happened to the N word? Because at least give me some familiarity. That hurt. She said, "You selfish." She's called me a selfish C word.
Colored.
And
Colored or crip?
No. A woman is something derogatory that they call women, which is
that word that
right.
incites riots with
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And the woman is going off. So the woman is cursing me out for a good 5 minutes or so, right? So apparently, she did not live at this CVS. What a lot of my passengers think, especially the women, they think she may have been like a prostitute. And this guy found out she was crazy, and after they did whatever, he wanted to just get rid of her as far as possible and just order her Uber and sent her anywhere. And so that's why the woman. But now, as far as I'm concerned, what I would think a prostitute would look like, I don't know that this woman could make a living in that field. And so as a result, I'm sitting there. It was a bad optic. Finally, the woman gets out of the car. She gets out of the car and she looks at me. And she has some more choice words for me on her way out. and the woman finally just slams the door and she leaves. And I decided to go home after that. I think I had had enough. Yeah. And I said, if I ever see Larry, I'm going to beat the fireworks out of him, first of all. I did contact Uber to let them know, because mind you, you give a rating to the person that, the passenger, she's not the actual person who's the account holder. So I just want you to know that's one of my crazy stories that I had to share with you gentlemen. Now, it was I was either going to tell that story or tell the story about when my cousin was on drugs and he stole the TV while my sister was watching it. But that's story. I'll save that one for another time. But this was a story. This was an Uber story. There's some crazy people out here, and yes, I did meet it. I used to have it on video, and if I still had it on video, I would give it to a young person to put it on World Star. But it was very, very crazy. And yes, Larry, know he was wrong, Lisa. I know he was wrong. And if I see Larry, it's going to be an altercation. We'll be right back after this. That was it.